Hello, hello, hello. I am back. Are you guys too? So, just let me pin a comment, like, subscribe, and share. Okay, guys, so like, subscribe, and share. Also, I have pinned that comment, so now it's easy for everyone to see. Okay, so we are back and we are going to start working on our Sophie scarf. My phone was having a glitch, so now it's fine. Everything's working fine. So let's just start. So I was on my third row, as it's mentioned over here. It's the third row that I was working on. So this much is left in the third row. Why are we not started yet? We have started. So this is our third row. Let's complete this and let's move forward to the next row, which is the fourth one. So as you guys all know, the last three stitches always have to be slipped purlwise. So purlwise is when you move this yarn from behind to the front of the needle and you slip the stitches. That is what we call slipping the stitches purlwise. So now we are on the row 4. Yeah. So let me know in the comments if any one of you have started making this Sophie scarf, as it is a beginner friendly project, and even if you are not a beginner in knitting, you would still love to make it because it's so smooth and easy and it's just less time consuming. You would love to make it. So for the beginners, you should definitely try it, and the advanced knitters, it's a must try for you too. So let me know if you have already started it. I just can't get enough of the Sophie scarf. Like, really. I don't even know if I finish this a Sophie scarf and the next project I take is also a Sophie scarf, but in a different color. So, who knows? Row 5. So, I am not a person who wears a watch. Like, really, I do not wear my watch. I have it. I bought my watch to count everything, even my sleep cycles, my walk, my steps, my sleep, like everything. I just wanted to monitor it. But after some years have passed, now I think it's just stupid in a way to count everything. I mean, you can't count everything. So, uh, there came a point in my life when I stopped using my watch, and uh, one of the reasons was also that there's a lot of sweat under the watch, so I don't like to wear the watch because of it. But now, recently, I wanted to try walking again, so I charged my watch and now I have it on my wrist, but seriously, right now I'm still annoyed that I have to wear it. I'm just like getting used to wearing it again, but it's it's not a good feeling. So it's irritating me right now, but I'm wearing it. Sometimes I just forget that I have something on my wrist, but sometimes I just want to take it off. But yeah, I'm just gonna wear it. And honestly, it feels really good when you wear your watch and you track your steps. It feels good that you are walking and this much you have walked. It's a different feeling, but yeah, I still have a lot of work to put in to be used to it again. It was like maybe three or 4 years ago when I started wearing my watch, and I have worn it for a year, maybe a year and a half, and then I just stopped wearing it at all. Okay, so we are. Oops! Oh, thank God. It the yarn twisted on my finger so bad that my stitches were just about to fall off the needle. But thank God it didn't happen. So we have all the stitches on our needle. So this is our seventh row. A row just before the row that we have to decrease on. So we decrease by knitting the first two stitches, slipping the third one, knitting the fourth one, and then taking the slip stitch and move it over the fourth knitted stitch, and we just drop it off the needle. That's the whole point. You drop a stitch, that means you're decreasing one stitch. And I'd like to do it in the beginning of a row rather than at the end. So I'm going to do it just now in a few seconds. So now row 8. Hi Elisa, how are you? Do you do crochet or knitting? Okay. Really? This is our 8th row? Guys, we need to consider something. This is our 8th row and we have to make a decrease. But as I told you earlier that we have to make our increases and the decreases on this same side where we have this stitch marker on. But now this is the side we have ended up in our 8th row and we have to make a decrease over here. But this is not something I can do. Oh my god. So what we can do to prevent this is rather than having a decrease in the beginning of the row, we have to do it in the end. So let's do that. Thank God I just saw. Let me move this stitch marker a little above so I can see. Okay, let's put it closer. So now we are not going to decrease here, but we are going to decrease in the end. Let's do that. I hope I don't mess it up. But I don't think so that decreasing on a different side on the end rather than in the beginning has any effect on this overall project. But let's see. It should be fine. So the last four stitches we have to, no, not the last four stitches, because the last three stitches have to be slipped. So, oh my god. Oops. I have another idea. We should decrease on our ninth row, because we need to increase on the beginning of a row, because in the end we always have to slip the last three stitches and we cannot decrease in the end. So let's just complete this row, and in the ninth row beginning we will decrease. And let's see if next time we have to do 9 rows again. I hope we don't have to. So we have this ninth row, and this is exactly where we can increase or decrease. So this is our decreasing pattern, so let's just decrease over here, because the thing that I was talking about, decreasing in the end of a row, that was when the I cord was not important in that part, and that's when I was making a Sophie Hood, that's when I did that. So because we have to have this I cord in the end, which is slipping the last three stitches, so we cannot decrease or increase in the end of a row. Okay, so we just decreased, we slipped that stitch over the fourth one, and let's do this. So what we have to consider now is that the next eighth row, how does it go? Because every eighth row it ends up here. Maybe I missed a row. Maybe I have. Let's see. So making the one extra row in a pattern does not mean that we have messed it all up. Yes, Anita, I know this is knitting and this is not crochet, and we are knitting in this live video. It also says in my thumbnail that we are knitting a Sophie scarf. Okay, so now we have to reset and row one again. I just remembered that I had the same comment in one of my previous live videos. So I wonder why you think that I am crocheting, I am knitting and I am saying that it is crochet, and I never said that. Okay, so this is the first row. We have to see if on the 8th row we reach on the end where we have to begin decreasing. I hope that we count our stitches right this time. Maybe I have tapped this one extra time in the last row. Sorry, the last pattern of 8 rows. Let's see what happens now. Row 2. So my yarn, look, this is twisting on its own, like twisting in a very different direction. That's because I think that I'm just rolling my project every time I have to start another row. So it's twisting on its own axis, if I'm being literal with words. Okay, Lynette, thank you so much for being in my life. Good night. You can sleep. And do come tomorrow. Or maybe I was thinking I do not have to do lives every day, but whenever I do, I know that my subscribers would know that I am live. So I try to go live every day, but I cannot say it for sure. So you need to subscribe so you definitely do know when I have a live. Good night, Lynette. I really enjoy the people that come again and again in my lives. So we are on our third row. Hi, how are you? Sorry, I could not pronounce your name. Can you write your name in the chat? Jose? Enjoy your day. Thank you so much. And have a good night, Lynette. Have sweet dreams. I would definitely put a complete project picture on my YouTube post section. So make sure to watch, like, and comment on my post. When I post, right now I don't have any post about this piece. So we are entering our fourth row. So my watch is telling me to stand up and do some exercises. But right now I'm in the middle of my business and I cannot get up and do some exercises. I mean, it's just a watch. Okay, so row 4. So last slippy slips. I really love this I-cord thingy about Sophie scarves and Sophie hoods. They're just so neat. I love this about them. So we entered our row 4 and we have already completed row 4. That's really quick. So now we are at our row 5. We really have to make sure that we do not press extra time on my row counter, because right now we are at row 5 and we have to reach up to row 8 and see if we land on the right side of our project, because we have to decrease on that same side. Fifth row it is. Last 3 stitches, purlwise, slipping 1, 2, and 3. Row 6. Guys, like, subscribe, and share. If you have friends who love watching handcrafts videos, do share my videos with them and give a lot of likes. And I think likes equals a lot of love, and that's what I really want from you guys. So do not think too much before giving a like, just hit the thumbs up button. On our 6th row, ending our 6th row, last 5 stitches, 2 needs to be knitted and the last 3 needs to be slipped on purlwise. 1, 2, and 3. Row 7. Yes, we are doing this right this time because this is our 7th row, and when we reach this side we have to move it like this, and this is where we have to do the decrease. So we are going the right way, thank God. 7th row. I was so worried that I counted my rows wrong. That's why I ended up on row 9, because that really happened for the first time in this Sophie scarf. And I was really glad that every time I have to increase, I end up on the same side where we are supposed to increase. But this was the very first time that I had to decrease. But we had to do an extra row. So the last 3 stitches, slippy slips, purlwise, 1, 2, and 3. Row 8, the decrease row. So we have to make the decrease in the beginning. So knit 2 stitches. Let me do it alongside. I tell you how to do it. Knit first 2 stitches, knitted 2 stitches. Now the third one has to be slipped. We have to knit the fourth one now and take the slip stitch over the fourth knitted stitch and drop it off the needle like so. So we have another dropped stitch. So this is our third row, third time decreasing. So we have made 3 decreases. So we had total 20 stitches when we started this live, and now if we are 3 decreases down, that means we should have 17 stitches on our needle. Let's count when we finish this row with the slip stitches. So last 3 stitches, slip purlwise. 1, 2, and 3. So reset row 1. Okay, let's count first. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17. So yeah, we were right. We made 3 decreases and now we are at 17 stitches. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Row 1 of another pattern of 8 rows where we have to decrease on our 8th row. And we have to do it all over again for as many times as we have to reach our 6 stitches in a row. So when we began this project, we casted on 6 stitches. So the same way, when we will end this Sophie scarf, we have to have 6 stitches on our needles. So right now we have 17 stitches on our needle, so we decrease 1 stitch after every 8th row. That means we have to do how many decreases to reach row 6? Guys, I'm really bad at math, so I have to have this visuals in front of me to really count. Okay, so now row 2. So we need to have 6 stitches in the end. So excluding these 6 stitches, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have to do 11 decreases to reach the last 6 stitches on our needle. So we are on our second row. I feel like my throat is hurting. Like when it's just about, it's like a little sore when you have a sore throat, but it's in the beginning level. I don't know why do I feel like this. There is no cold. Even where I am right now, it's summertime. Don't know why it's happening. But guys, I'm the kind of a person who gets the flu, and a really bad flu, in the middle of summer. I don't know why this happens to me every time. But I think it's been 2 years that I did not have flu or sore throat in summertime. I really hope that I don't have sore throat or flu, because my community will not be hearing my voice if I have these things. And that's the last thing I want to do. I want to have. I don't know why this figure of speech is there. The last thing I want to do, the last thing you want to have. I mean, that's not even the last thing someone would have if it's really that bad. Why would you even have this in the last? This is something you would never have. But yeah, let's just say that that's the last thing I want to have. So our row 3 is ending with these last 3 slip stitches. Now row 4. So I hope that there are no other issues in my life. Uh, my voice is okay, right? You guys can listen to me clearly. Okay, so the last 3 slippery slips, and now we are at row 5. We still have 17 stitches on our needle, but once we reach row 8, it will be decreased to 16 stitches, and then we'll have to do 10 more decreases to reach 6 stitches at a time in our needle, on our needle, sorry. last three slip stitches, row 6. Do you also have a row counter like this one? Because that there was a girl who came in my life and she was really amazed that I was using this as my row counter. She said that she prays and she keeps track of how many times she have uh, like prayed. She counts on this row counter. I call this row counter, but people call it the tasbih counter. That's another word. So this is very common here in Pakistan. So I decided to take this and count my rows on it. It's really easy and accessible. Before this, I used to open my calculator in my phone and I used to like row 1 completed, type 1. Row 2 completed, delete it and then type 2. So it was really difficult for me. But when I came across this, my life got easier. Really easy. Slippy slips. Row 7.